I have your thing. So she was actually born and raised in Northeast Ohio. Did you guys know that? She has a Bachelor of Science degree from Eastern Michigan University and a master's degree in business administration from Arizona State University. Did you guys know that? I hadn't known that. I think it's pretty cool. And that's from W.P. Carey School of Business. I can read the whole sentence. There we go. Jen is actually an international best-selling author and is inspirational speaker. Do you know how many authors we have in this group? It's kind of amazing, and I don't know why I'm making the thing go up here and on it. So, sorry. Normally that's if you're standing in front of it, but that would be more of a whoop, and it's not doing that. Jennifer is also an assistant editor and authors content for a Catholic magazine distributed to 20,000 homes in northern Nevada. As a marketing professional, she engages with businesses that fuel her passion to make an impact. She's been an independent consultant for Pampered Chef since 2020 and offers tips, ideas, and more about the kitchen, cooking, and efficiency. She lives in Reno, Nevada with her husband Michael and daughter Adriana, who is a blessing. She's such a cute little girl. She's lots of fun. We love, Michaela loves the opportunities that she gets to babysit and stuff. And she has several different websites. So if you haven't looked her up on our Tapestry webpage, it has all her different websites on there. And at that point, I'm just gonna turn it over to her because she knows what she's doing a lot more than me.
Thank you.
I'm going to sneak this.
Hi everyone, I am Jennifer Marie Palfini of Jen Marie Living, and I'm so excited to be here today. And I just wanted to share a real personal thing with you that I've been a speaker in business for over 30 years and have had a lot of experience being in front of crowds, whether it's been the theater or performing. I've actually never given a witness about my faith. My faith has always been my background, never my foreground. So tonight, for the first time, that's what I'm doing. And so I just want to, it just hit me today that I was doing this and what an important part of my life this has become. And as I grew up as a child with strong faith, like some of us do, we get astray sometimes. And we tend to walk away and think that it's not the most important thing. And I'm back with that being the core of who I am. So, because I'm planning to say that, but that just came from my heart. So we're going to go with it. When Amanda invited me to speak, she gave me actually a topic. And I was like, I can't know if I can talk about that. I don't really have a speech for that. So we're going to go with it. And the topic is aligned with a message that I share often, which is how to renovate your career and your life. And I have a little acronym for renovate, and I'm not going to go over that because it's a longer talk. And I want to start from the point of confidence, the confidence to renovate when God redesigns your life. I do believe that God redesigns our life in many different time frames, not just one point, not just in the beginning or at the end. It's almost an ongoing process, the renovation that God does with our life, because we are designed for more, and God is always positioning us in that way. So what if the confidence you're looking for is something that you don't have, it's something that you're chasing right now, but it's actually something that God is already building within you? Think about that. So a little bit about me. Amanda told little things, but I just literally created this 5 minutes before I left tonight because I just wanted to show, most people who know me don't know the me before I came to Reno. And the me that came before Reno was this me. This was the international, global go-getter, traveler, high stress, always working, online person, pushing rocks uphill every single day by myself. With teams and stuff, but alone by myself. And brands like Intel and Adobe were how I would introduce myself. My name is Jennifer, I work for Intel. Like that would be who I was and how I identified myself. And that was how I operated for a long time. But when I met my husband at the age of 45, we decided to become parents, and I became a mother at the age of 47, a heart renovation I didn't see coming happened to me. And at that time, it was a pivotal point in my life where this girl here, who was doing it all, and obviously not very healthy, but working my butt off all the time for other people and making other people a lot of money, realized that that wasn't going to work with the mother that I wanted to be. It was a dream I had to become a mother, and I knew that everything had to change, and so did my husband. And so we not only chose to leave our careers in a very permanent way, we also realized that God was telling us we needed to move. We needed to get out of where we were, and we needed to change everything about ourselves to wrap our mind around becoming parents in a way that we could live our life that we wanted to for the betterment of our child and our family. And so we did that, and it was a very uncomfortable situation for me. While I wanted to be a mother, and it was my number one desire that I'd always dreamed of, leaving behind the comfortable, and I'm gonna say comfortable, but again, I just told you hardworking, always on, pushing rocks up hills, that paycheck and that notoriety I had of being the brand builder for these companies and being the go-getter was something that I was letting go of. And in turn of letting it go, I opened myself up to where God was calling me to be. And because I was always on and always moving these rocks up hills and busy and stuff like that, I never had time to be with God in a way that I actually could discern and listen to Him. And so God, as He works, as I'm sure He's worked in many of your lives, would wake me up in the middle of the night, always, never like in the middle of the day or anything like that, always in the middle of the night, or just as I would wake up, He would go, "This is for you." And the first thing that happened with that was when I was a stay-at-home mom. I was a stay-at-home mom for 3 years, and I picked up Pampered Chef. That was my first thing that I did. So anyway, so I did that, and then I got into the marketing consulting for the Catholic Diocese of Reno, and then I started up Jen Marie Living, and then I authored a chapter in a book, and then I produced my mom's song, and then I created a self-care mini seminar series called Glow. And then last year I decided to get my real estate license and pass that test and do that. So all those changes like happened here within like the last 5 years, like crazy, like things I never could have imagined happening to me, and messages coming for me and to me in ways that I never could have been open to until God spoke to me. And I'm not saying like God was like, "Hey Jen, I want you to do this." Like, I don't know if you guys have that experience, but I don't. I literally wake up and know what to write about. I literally wake up and know what to do, and that is all guided by God, because that certainly does not come for me in the middle of the night, and I believe that to be true. And so in all of these things that I did, and I'm only sharing this with you of what I did, not to boast about myself, but all these things that I did were hard. I was not prepared. I was not qualified, and I was not ready. But God didn't care about that. He just wanted me to hand over the keys and do His thing. And so when we talk about this renovation metaphor, which I just love, we think about that life rarely goes according to our blueprints. But God is inviting us to renovate with confidence. When He comes to us and gives us that message of, "It's time for you to change. I want you to look at this problem differently," that's our opportunity to embrace Him and let go of what we believe that we need to be doing for ourselves. Before God builds something, I love this because this is so true, He often tears down what no longer serves us. And as I look out at you today, some of you I know well, some of you I don't know at all, but I can imagine that some of you have experienced unexpected career pivots, relationships shifting, dreams delayed, your identity shaken, maybe by someone telling you something about yourself you didn't want to hear, or something that you didn't want to believe to be true. And I want to talk about the bridge to confidence on that. Confidence isn't the result of control, it's the result of trust. Trusting the one who knows the blueprint. There's a really great scripture passage, and this is from my Bible, Catholic Bible. "Therefore, do not throw away your confidence," and it's in all the Bibles, but this is just the Catholic version. "Do not throw away your confidence, it will have recompense." Hebrews 10:35. What I love about this is like literally, this is in the Bible. You know, you will get many-fold back when you don't throw away your confidence. And who takes their confidence away from us? The world. People we know. Sometimes people we love. So how do you, when you're going through this, God's redesigning your life and you feel it, like you know it's coming and you're fighting it, what do you do and how does God build your confidence? So I think there's like kind of 3 ways that God builds our confidence that we can think about. And I'm going to go back to my renovate metaphor because I just love that. I just feel like there's just so much that you can do with that word. And it's so powerful. And it came to me because we renovated our kitchen. And I was like, this is like renovating your life is sort of like renovating a kitchen. You're going down to the bare walls, you're pulling everything out, and you're starting all over again. All you've got is this frame. So you have your foundation. And your foundation is to remember your source. The Lord will be your confidence, Proverbs 3:26. Confidence begins when we know whose we are, not just who we are. In my chapter, in my book, What You Do Defines Who You Become, the what you do when it comes from God defines who you become, which is your purpose. It's a very different way to look at it. And as I was thinking about the title of the chapter of my book, I was thinking, oh my gosh, like where did that come from? Like, because it just became so clear to me that it's not about the tangible what you do. It's like who is telling you what to do, and what are you going to become the light that God wants you to be with your purpose. The next thing is the framework. Reframe that narrative. You are going to hear, when you do something new or you change it up or you let people go in your life, you're going to hear, you're too late, you're not qualified enough, you are behind, you're not good enough, you're not a good friend, you're not a good person. You have to reframe that, to remember that God is doing something in your life that He wants you to change because He wants you only to rely on Him. And as I say that, I almost can't believe I'm up here saying this, like where I am in my life right now. But that is the truth, and that is my truth that I believe. Reframe the narrative to be like, I am not too late. I am not disqualified. I am not behind. I am perfectly positioned. I know we say this in Tapestry actually too. I am perfectly positioned for the right moment right now. And then you have your finished work. It's like the details, right? And so what are the details? The details are the rise anyway. And some of you know, some of you don't know, but I started out a pretty intense workout program about a year ago. And the number one thing I had to do for my workout program was, guess what? I had to get up. I had to get out of bed. I had to not push snooze. Take the next step. Try again. Say yes. It's so important that you rise anyway. Even when you feel like there's this huge mess in front of you, the ability to take that one step, one step at a time is so powerful because it all adds up to bigger movements. And also, confidence doesn't always just like scream at you. It's quiet, and it's on those quiet moments that you rise, that you're able to see where it is that you're going. I'm going to share a personal moment that I think maybe some of you can relate to that gives you a really clear analogy of what this looks like. So you are in a space of your life or doing something in your life where you are hanging on. The whole house is gone. And you literally have, I'm imagining, I'm not a builder, but I'm imagining that when you have a house and you're taking everything down, the last thing to fall down is probably the door frame. So you literally have everything gone in this house, and you are hanging on to that door frame so tight that your fingers are indenting into the wood. And all God is waiting for you to do is to let go. But you can't, because you've decided this is what you want, this is under your control, this was your dream. But if it's not God's, it's not going to work for you. So being obedient is a big part of the renovation. I love this, and I feel like this is something that most people, especially women, don't realize. Oh, she has such great confidence. Oh my gosh, she must just be born with the confidence. Oh, just look at that person, they're so confident. Someone must have really encouraged them. Confidence is not a personality trait. Confidence is a faith decision. And if you can reprogram and reframe your mind to realize that, I probably am one of the least confident people that ever thought I would be speaking up in front of a group of women about God. So, that is what my faith and trust in God has brought me in this journey. If you're in this season of renovation, trust that God is both the designer and the builder, and he's not finished with you yet. And in this, I'm speaking to the mom feeling unseen, the woman wondering if she missed her moment, the entrepreneur afraid to make the move, the servant-hearted leader so tired of giving and exhausted. When you think about those things, the things that pull you through is that faith and that trust you have in God that you're doing the right things that he wants you to do. And so to encourage you and think about, what do you do when you're in the middle of this huge redesign of your life? I spoke about this probably about 6 months ago about the word BRAVE, an acronym, and I think it really applies here because if you could take all these things about yourself and share where you're going with this redesign of your life and look at it from a different perspective, you'll have a better result and you'll feel more confident in what it is that you are doing. So brave, bold, take the next step even when it feels scary. It's something as simple as showing up here tonight. It's simple as setting up coffee with someone that you want to meet with. It's something as simple as not hitting snooze on your alarm and getting yourself so you feel better healthy-wise. Relentless is, I feel like, a negative word, but I feel like it's such a positive word because it means you are going to show up even when the results feel slow. Because, and here's the thing, I had an epiphany about myself like the other day when I was working on this talk, because it was new content for me. And I was thinking, if I was able to look back and see where I am now, which that's one slide I showed of myself then and now is just all the picture I need. But but when I was going through those moments where I was literally on the floor, a puddle of water, having no idea what to do, and saw myself as a complete failure for what I wanted to achieve. And I can look back now on all those moments. Like you could create like a dot chart. What do you call that? Like a chart where you go like you go up and then you go and you up and you go. I mean, I had 5 job losses in the course of my career, where I went from like a lot of money to 0, just like that, overnight. I lived in a Airbnb for a little while because I couldn't afford my rent. I come from a very humble beginning with my parents from the Midwest. So I know what it's like to lose and to win. And when I looked at the course of my career, just like the last couple of days ago, I was like, oh my gosh, like everything that I did and everything that I failed at and I rose from was bringing me to here, to this day, to this moment. And it'll continue to do that as long as I continue to remind myself that my faith and my trust is in God and nobody else. And that's me being totally authentic with you, is let God use the real you, not like the perfect polish with the hair and the nails and the shoes and all that. The messy you, and share that story of how you were on the ground. You were crying. You didn't know what to do. But somehow you rose because you saw that you had faith and trust in God, and he saw that for you. He's waiting for you. Be vulnerable. I mean, let others into your journey. Let your hair be messy. Let your makeup not be on. It's part of the witness. And I really didn't think about it as so serious, like a witness, because social media is everywhere and everyone talks about their journeys and themselves all the time. But when you're a witness of going through something that other people look to for an example, or other people, by the way, you never know who's watching you either. I think that's just like a proven fact. You don't know if it's like a little kid watching you. You don't know if it's an old person on their last days that are watching you. And you don't know the power of what your words and your vulnerability and your authenticity is delivering to other people. And being vulnerable and sharing your witness encourages other people or just makes them feel normal. And then enthusiastic, like stir up joy and light. I mean, come on, this stuff's hard, but you gotta make it light at times, and you have to make it just like show your wins. Like, I feel like we are so embarrassed to be like, oh, I did really good on that. Like, I mean, when I passed my real estate exam, I don't think I didn't tell anybody. Like, I was just like, but I didn't tell anybody when I was doing it because I kept it very private because I was afraid that what happens if I fail, and if I fail the first time, the second time, the third time. So when I passed the first time, I was like, I passed. Who wants to know that information? Because I want to tell you how hard I worked. we should all feel like that we should be able to share our joy and our wins with other people, no matter how small it is. Maybe like your kid did awesome in the art, on the art project that you want to share. Maybe, your grandpa had a great birthday, and it means a lot to you. I think it's just really important to share with enthusiasm because other people need light in their life. Being confident doesn't mean that you have it all figured out. It means that you're willing to be brave enough to let God lead. And don't forget that God builds the confidence within you. Let God hold the hammer. He isn't finished with you yet. Thank you.